Hello and welcome to another episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. This is Beriathan of the Citadel Guard of Gondor. We're back in the Morgul Vale and we have two paths open for us. We can either advance the Black Book at Echad Uial, or we can travel to Tolkien and begin the search for Thuringwath, the Valley of the Secret Shadow. So, I've been thinking about it. I'm still not entirely sold on the idea, but I think I'm gonna go to Echad Uial first. If we go under the assumption that Beriathan takes the road, well, the camp comes first, so it will make sense to talk to Gandalf there, and hopefully that will help us make our mind a little bit more.
Friends. Evil spoils these grounds.
Although I'm not entirely sure, but I wanna hear what Gandalf has to say about it. We need to bring him word of the presence that is blocking the entrance to the Tower of the Crescent Moon. And, well, maybe Gandalf then will have something useful to say, hopefully.
The watching stone outside Barad Cúron will only allow Karazgar to pass.
That may be a problem, my friend. The Ranger Anath did tell us that Urukor seeks to gain access to the tower, but he seems unlikely to cooperate with us, Beriathan. And as it stands, we do not know for certain where the captain of the pit may be found. There is also the matter that if we declare Urukor's location, Anath will not allow us to join hands with his hated foe, no matter the purpose or duration of the peace. No, Urukor will not help us gain access to the tower. Gandalf leans on his staff, deep in thought. When he stands up, straight once again, there's a twinkle in his eye. We have no Urshield close at hand, Beriathan, but perhaps we can make one of our own. Do tell. What do we have in here?
Nay, my friend, do not look at me with such horror.
I do not speak of performing Sauron's dread ritual. The act of leading the men and women that became the Urshield required more than just Sauron's Morgul knife Gulthaug. It needed also a will of evil, and be glad that is not a thing we possess. But we do have in hand something else. The wizard opens his satchel of possessions and removes an unpleasant artifact, the Mask of Karazgar. The weeping warrior dug our steps in the north, Beriathan, and he inflicted much pain and sorrow upon dwarves and men, but he does possess two useful traits, his reputation and his absence. Of all the Urshield, he may be the most feared, a black Númenórean who moved with stealth, appearing out of nowhere to slay and torment before vanishing, leaving only the memory of a frightening visage, a masked evil. He captured dragons and brought them to Sauron, but it is long since he was seen in Mordor. Rumor of his cruelties in Far Off Ruin will have spread even here. I think the spirit of this watching stone will know of the weeping warrior and his exploits in the east and in the north, and I think too that it will not have seen him in long centuries, if at all. Were you to wear the mask, the spirit would no doubt see through our deception, but if another were to wear it, perhaps one of the titular who rarely come to the Vale, who is to say what the spirit might think? And if Karazgar were to bring a powerful prisoner to Gothmog, the very man who has proven so troublesome to Gothmog's schemes, would the spirit not allow both of them access to the inner sanctum? What has your friend Ayorzén gotten up to of late, Beriathan? Is he still as wily as he ever was? Go to Minas Tirith and speak with the gossip monger Meldir just inside the entrance of the city. He will know where the Easterling who came out of Gorgoroth have gone. So, yeah, Gandalf wants us to go back to Minas Tirith, and we can also try and get to the valley, and this one is a tricky one. I'm still not entirely sure what to do, but I'm more inclined now to do the Black Book and go to Minas Tirith and get all that sorted out, and then come back here to Minas Morgul. So let us do that. We will master in the after battle version of it. Here we go, the one we were looking for. It's been a long while since last time we were here in Minas Tirith after the battle. It's kind of funny as well though, because we've already done the Great Wedding. So technically, if all this happens after the Great Wedding, We should be seeing the repaired version of Minas Tirith, not this mess, but... Well, it is what it is. Bottom line, we just need to keep looking for Ayorzén.
You were looking for Easterlings?
Aye, King Elessar has called for them to be given places to stay in Gondor, and the kingdom will follow his command. But he cannot beat every man or woman of Gondor to open their hearts to these newcomers, and were he to try, he would likely face his first failure as king. Many here lost loved ones to Cúrndalar swords within view of these walls, and they can neither forget nor forgive it. But if you seek Easterlings, you may find them at the Eagle and Star to the southwest. The barkeep there has welcomed their coin at least. So that's where we're going, the Eagle and Star. Yeah, I didn't think about this portion of the Black Book when I decided to do Midsummer first. And once again, I was guiding myself with Made of Lions forum post in which he clearly states, that in his mind, Midsummer is supposed to come before Minas Morgul, even though there are discrepancies such as this one. So yeah, once again, it's not a perfect solution, but I still stand with my decision. Ayorzén watches you guardedly and with suspicion.
So you are still alive. Good for you.
When last I saw you, you planned a foolish raid upon some stronghold in Mordor, thinking that these guys might keep you safe. It seems the advice I gave you proved helpful, for you live still. Are you here to thank me for your survival? Know that I am Ayorzén the Unrewarded, and will gracefully accept whatever coin or treasure you balance against your life. Ayorzén's eyes narrow when Nora watches forthcoming, and they narrow further when you tell him you need his help again gaining access to the tower atop Minas Morgul. You only come to me when you need something, Beriathan. Am I to dress up as one of the Nurnhoth as you did before? For I will not. I led the Cúrndalar into battle. Men followed me to war, even to death. And if my star has fallen low, it will rise again. I wear these garments now, but in time I will don my shining armor and lead men to victory. Keep your bases, guys. Ayorzén the Proud will have none of it. Ayorzén does not know the disguise you had in mind. Oh, you're gonna... I'm glad you're saying Ayorzén, so this is what I want you to do. Ayorzén's eyes widen in surprise.
Did you kill him then? There is only one mask such as this in all the world.
And the Weeping Warrior would never part with it. Long did he stalk the lands of my people, bringing death without mercy to all. For all my years, the mention of his name drained the courage of even the bravest soldier, and set to weeping mothers and fathers both, remembering children slain by his blades for no reason at all. The sight of his mask commanded. Ayorzén falls silent. The door of the tavern swings open and Mithrandir enters. Glad you could come, Gandalf.
Has he agreed to our scheme? Ah, I see he considers it.
May he hasten his decision. How much time does he think we have? But there is another here with whom I would have you speak. Did you not notice him enter? I see his ascension has not diminished his former skill at moving without being seen, nor his desire to make use of it. Unless I miss my guess, he will be in the furthest room, Beriathan, in a darkened corner. No, this is not the farthest room, of course. Or is it? My god, I don't know this tavern at all. A familiar figure nods and grinning. Oh my god, how did I not see you there? I mean, I already knew he was here. I already knew the guys he was donning. I already knew everything, and I still missed him. So yeah, I guess you still have the skill to remain hidden if you so desire. And how cool it is as well that the game is still naming him Strider for this situation. Because yeah, this is not Elessar right now.
Old habits do not always vanish easily.
It remains a wonder to me how much a difference one's garb can make in the eyes of the people. What would Barliman have to say if he saw me in my king's raiment? No, I should prefer to wear this to the pony. That is Strider's place, not Elessar's. Mithrandir has told me some of what he has learned from the tome you discovered in Yarnfast, and he entreated me to tell you what I know of King Eärnur's last days. Some of this you may have heard already, but the true story was never intended for the ears of the common folk, and some of it was passed down only by the wise and to those of Isildur's line, kept secret in the wilderness. I will tell you what I know of it, if that is your wish. Oh, yeah, please do tell me.
I will tell you the tale of Eärnur's last days, as it was told to me. This story begins during the reign of King Eärnur II, who was troubled by the loss of Minas Tirith to the forces of the Witch King.
You have heard the story of Egalmoth's onslaught against the forces of Mordor that came to seize Minas Tirith. It is a popular tale, oft told in Gondor even today, for it is heroic and tragic in equal measure. Lord Egalmoth had the command of Barad Cúron, and his charge through the city into the invading orcs is not the province of legend. He and all his men died in that sally, but when the last defender was dead and the Witch King entered the tower, he learned of Egalmoth's other purpose. The Palantir was missing. One of Egalmoth's riders had carried it from Barad Cúron, casting it into the Ithilduin lest it be claimed by the Nazgul. Like many victories of the Dunedain over the years, this one was short-lived. Servants of the Witch King found the Ithil stone fetched up upon a rock in the current, and they brought it to their master. Gloating over his victory, the Lord of the Nazgul used the Palantir only once before bringing it personally to Sauron as he was commanded. The Witch King made contact with the Eärnur stone wielded by King Eärnur, showing him that Egalmoth had failed and the city belonged now to him. Minas Ithil has fallen and Nazgul sneered. You look now upon Minas Morgul. Eärnur despaired, and he forbade any of his subjects or his line from using the Eärnur stone. It is no longer safe, he declared. The ban of Eärnur would last for nearly 1,000 years, unbroken until the time of Stuart Denethor. It may be that the ban prevented Sauron from achieving his goal of a corrupted Gondor centuries before he nearly succeeded, but I cannot say for certain. Every thought of King Eärnur was set to defending Gondor from the threat of Mordor. He refortified the city, intending for Minas Anor to become an impenetrable fortress. But for men, even a long life must end. When Eärnur died, his son Eärnur ascended to the throne. He was a grim ruler, but he intended to keep his people safe. Minas Anor would be known by a new name, Minas Tirith, the Tower of Guard. He longed for the recapture of every city and fortress Gondor had lost to Mordor's armies. Perhaps that is why he allowed the messenger entrance to his halls. Hail, guest, you are welcome in the halls of my fathers. Say you so? I do not feel it, O great king. Say on then. I bring greetings from my master, he who is the captain of Night and the ruler of Iron. Know him too as the king of Minas Morgul. He has unfinished business with thee. What business? I do not trade with such as he. Well does he know it. He saw you from across the field at Fornost. And you fled from him. I did not flee. It seemed to my master and to all who saw it that you fled in terror of his mighty presence. The king's horse was overmastered and bore him away against his will. So you could not control your own steed, yet you think to control armies. I was not afraid of your master then or now. What is the message you bring? Deliver it and then be gone. It is this. My master bids you return to his domain, alone. There he will do battle with you, sword to sword, with no one else to interfere. And what stakes does he offer? Should you triumph, he will quit the Vale of Morgul and the city that lies within. And otherwise, I will not give him any of my realm if that is his hope. Any, he has already taken some of your realm. You mean any more of it, surely? But why should he wish for that which he could take at will? No, great king, he wishes only for thee. Yeah, give me just a sec, Aragorn. Let me take the chance to take a picture of Mardil and Eärnur, because it's not every day that you can meet King Eärnur. That armor is so great. I wish we could get a copy of it. Eärnur was hot of temper and surely would have ridden forth at once were it not for the intervention of his advisor Mardil, a wise man and studied. Gondor remembers him as Mardil the Good, and his actions on this day forestalled some measure of doom. Not forever, alas, but for a time. Mardil stepped forward. We know who your master is, he declared. We know how much he can be trusted or how little. If he is so eager for this combat, let him ride here to the Tower of Guard and show his true worth before all. The emissary bridled at this response and departed, but his anger was as nothing compared to the wrath of Eärnur. He brooded and raged in the time that followed, but whenever he thought to dare the Shadowed Vale, his steward was on hand with soothing words and reminders of his duty. The Morgul Vale remained silent. So passed 7 grim years, 7 years following the day that the first came to Minas Tirith. The messenger returned. This time he was not alone. So you have come back. The warmth of your hall has much waned, O king. I bear again my master's behest. It has not changed. Why should I answer then? Time, it weighs on you, heavy is every year that passes. You have had time to think upon your faint heart. No, my lord, peace. Peace, you say? I remembered you from our last meeting, Word Weaver. My master has spared a thought for you too. For you I have a gift. Egalmoth. Oh, jeez. It was a corpse long dead, its eyes glinting with profane malice, its flesh decayed. But Mardil and Egalmoth were both of the House of Húrin and were cousins. In grief and disgust, Mardil turned away and he gave the messenger what he sought. His silence. This foulness will not stand. Run back to your master. Tell him the king rides at once to reclaim Minas Tirith. Oh, Eärnur, what did you do? We were all played. Before his blood has cooled, Eärnur and a company of his bravest knights rode from Minas Tirith for the last time. They entered the Morgul Vale and were never seen again. The common belief in the years that followed was that the Witch King treacherously trapped the king and his knights in Minas Morgul, and they perished there in torment. No proper claimant to the throne could be found, and the line of kings was ended. Mardil did not don the crown himself. Instead, he became the first of the ruling stewards, swearing to govern Gondor only until the king returned. And you know how that tradition reached its ending, Beriathan. But when Eärnur succumbed to the taunt of the Witch King and rode to Minas Morgul, we know now what was hidden for those many centuries. Through the dark arts of the Lord of the Nazgul, Eärnur was corrupted and changed into the fell wraith Morderith, bound to the Witch King. He served Mordor as the false king of Angmar until his defeat last year. When next he crossed our paths, he had been given a new form with which to wage Sauron's war, Gothmog, commander of Mordor's armies. Better to have died as Eärnur, Beriathan, than be reborn as a tool of evil again and again. It saddens me to think of that fate. My tale is at its end, Beriathan, but the rate that was once Eärnur troubles Gondor still. Not much longer, I hope.
That is the tale, as it is known to the wise and to those of Isildur's line.
But I would have you remember these, Beriathan. Whatever Eärnur may have been, that man is no more. Do not let the knowledge of who he once was stay the punishment that is due. He is not wholly evil. He is now wholly evil, and all of Middle-earth has suffered at his hands and those of his masters.
Mithrandir has told me of his plan, and I will not speak against it, but remain alert.
For many centuries have passed since the Tower of the Crescent Moon last fell into the grasp of evil. Even Mithrandir cannot say what you might find within. Gothmog alone would be a threat enough, but while Sauron held our attention, Gothmog had time enough to ransack Minas Morgul for its secrets. He may have prepared some defense or trap we cannot anticipate. I will give you one further warning. If the Condolar Ayorzén does agree to help you with this, remain alert for any sign of treachery. I believe he will aid you for as long as his interests align with yours. See that they do, and he may be worthy of trust. But if that becomes otherwise... Good fortune to you, Beriathan. I think you will need it. Yeah, thank you, Aragorn, Strider, LSR. We will need it indeed.
I will play the part of Karazgar.
But Ayorzén the Helpful has a number of conditions. Know this. I will not endanger myself to save you. If this deception appears ready to fail, I will not maintain it. You may be a friend to me in the city, but in the Morgul Vale, the only men who still have friends are the dead ones. The living cannot stay living if they hold friendship more dearly than their own skin. Ayorzén must come first, are we agreed? Yes? Very well, I did not escape the end of the war and the dungeons of the Dark Lord to die in the Morgul Vale. If that is understood, then I will help you. Where do we need to go? You tell Ayorzén how to get to Echad Uial. And that's where we will meet. It seems we are going back there. Of course. Yeah, let us hope this plan works. So, we muster back in Stolat land. And from there we travel to Echad Uial, I guess, once again. And after talking to Beregond, we'll see where will we go next. It can be either the city of Minas Morgul, or it can be Thuringwath.
Now then.
But yeah, I think it worked better doing this portion of the Black Book first, because, well, you will see once we get to Thuringwath. I'll make sure to mention that to you. But yeah, I prefer this that way.
I do not like this, Easterling. Are you certain we have no other choice?
Yeah, it seems that way, Beregond. I'm sorry.
The men here do not like me. It brings a smile to my face.
To hear their whispers, to see that the way they look at me with fear in their eyes. Why? Because it means they remember. Even fallen so low, Ayorzén is not forgotten. If the cards had fallen differently, these others might be unwelcome guests in my own war camp, and they would not be afraid to whisper then. This man, this Beregond, is a mere underling, but Ayorzén was no man's underling. I remember leading my own band, strong Kundlar warriors who would live or die at my command. Perhaps that time will come again, for I feel my star is once again on the rise. After all, you will soon be indebted to me for this favor, as will many other powerful men. Why, Beriathan's own prince will be in my debt, and perhaps then he will speak to me with more respect. Call me Ayorzén the Prepared, Beriathan, for I am ready for this plan of yours and for a hopeful future. If Thrandir calls to you to speak with him?
Something has happened on the upper levels of the city, but I know not what.
Morgul Vale were seen clinging to the upper reaches of Barad Cúron, illuminated in the light of the tower's beacon, and something has stirred the orcs in the lower levels to greater activity. Of the rising dead in the middle tiers there are few reports, but that in itself gives me concern. Go with Ayorzén to speak with the Ranger Kulank on the uppermost level of the city outside the entrance to the tower, but first investigate each of these threats as you climb up each tier of the city. If Godmok or the other masters of Mordor have called for this increased activity on the part of their minions, they must be opposed. Have they enacted the final stages of some scheme, even as we prepare to undertake our own? I hope it is not so, but an air of dread and mystery lies upon Minas Morgul, and it makes me wonder. Alright, yeah, we will be doing that, but yeah, I think now it's the best time to go to Thuringwath. Yeah, it seems Godmok had plans beyond Minas Morgul. Word has spread of a place named Thuringwath. Is believed that the Falgur that runs through the Mountains of Shadow might lead to it. And right to Tyne or what. So yeah, it makes sense in my head. Investigating first, what is it that Godmok is looking for in that valley, trying to weaken him as we are now ready to make the final strike. And yeah, Ayorzén can wait for us here in camp while we do all that. So yeah, let us do that.
Will you help bear my burden, friend?
Let us travel to Tyne or what, and we'll start taking care of that. The Valley of the Secret Shadow. Seemingly awaiting your arrival, Coelion beckons you over.
Will you help bear my burden, friend?
I'd hoped it would be you, Beriathan.
Now then.
Have you heard all the talk of Thuringwath, Beriathan? Prince Faramir told us to hold our post, but after one of ours found a way into Falkgurth, it wasn't long before Nidlas took his men to the pass. It's been days and I've heard no word from him or his men. To be honest, I don't care if the rumors are true or not. All I ask is that you go into Falkgurth to find Nidlas and his men. Will you aid me? Yeah, the entrance to Falkgurth. No, I don't think these vapors would be those. What's the entrance? It's hidden, of course, and a little hard to find, but let us see if we have any luck with this. Finding the Falkgurth, because, well, once again, this was mentioned as part of the Black Book when we were investigating the orcs that were trying to cross the forest gate of Erin Lasgalin. So it also makes sense to investigate these before the Black Book is over, because, well, this is a mystery that is worth unraveling. Let us try and find a way to the pass. A foreboding pass has been carved through the black slopes of Efelduath. Nurit, scouting Thuringwath. What do we have here? Explore Falkgurth, Thorgris, Aufaltor, Ufurog, Lagdursh, and Bard Nirnaeth. That sounds great. It would have been great though if there was any sort of quest from the Black Book here in the valley. But anyway, shadows loom ahead of you, but you hear hushed voices up the path to the east. Let me get the page first, and we'll investigate. You have found the page of a tome, inscribed with runes and splattering what you believe may be dried blood. Perhaps you can find other pages in Thuringwath and complete the story.
When the Nine claimed Minas Tirith, I was there. I marched through its riven gates. I watched its towers darken, heard its people's cries of anguish. Such music.
Yeah, this story is really disturbing. It seems a few rangers have made camp in a small cleft within Falgurth. Torgris, the hidden cleft. Okay. But no sign of Nidlas yet.
Let us not tarry.
I did not expect help to come so soon, but we are in dire need of it. Nidlas is gone.
Now then.
Completed, celebrated in the White Company. My god, why do I have to complete these deeds when I don't have currency? Space. God. Completed, celebrated in the White Company. Is that it? Have we maxed out the reputation already? We didn't make it far the first night. A dark cloud like some unearthly wall of shadow appeared in our path. Only Nidlas was brave enough to reach out into the darkness, but he withdrew his hand almost at once. It was as if a deadly chill had taken hold of his arm. I thought that was going to be the end of it, but Nidlas insisted that we make camp, and so we did. The rain fell cold, and we had too few tents. Many of us to kill in the night, but Nidlas led the rest beyond the shadows at first light. See for yourself, Beriathan. It is some old devilry, I think. Yeah, but first... Yeah, we have reached max standing with the White Company. Great. But that means we missed the last deed. Oh, God. Yeah, I made a note to barter something when we were back at camp, and I totally forgot about it, and we missed more than 30 tokens. Anyway, we have a title and a deed now. You have reached celebrated status with the White Company. Yeah. We have 5 LOTRO points as well. Yeah. Alright, ready to continue our investigations then. To your surprise, Mithrandir stands before the Wall of Shadow. It is most curious, is it not? Mithrandir does not turn to face you, and his eyes remain transfixed on the Wall of Shadow Taudir described. As I expected, the enwraithment spells the Nazgul used to conceal the past have faded, but I did not expect to encounter this sort of sorcery. May I ask something of you, Beriathan? It might seem a trifle, but take a stone and cast it into the shadows. The stone disappears into the shadows, making no sounds as it clatters unseen upon the ground. Mithrandir turns to face you. It is no mistake that our paths have crossed again, my friend. Oh, and none of this quest will give sigils? That's weird. I am told that beyond this darkness lies Thuringwath, the Veil of Secret Shadow. It is difficult to believe the enemy could have hidden such a place so near to Minas Tirith of old, but it is the uncertainty which has led me here. Have the enemy's works crumbled to naught behind a veil of shadow, or does some evil still dwell beneath the notice of Gondor? I must know the truth of it, but I do not wish to walk alone. Will you accompany me, Beriathan? Come, Beriathan. Don't worry, Garolith, we will be okay.
How long had this path been consumed by the sorcery of the Nazgul? Of this place I have heard no tale from the Lord and Lady of Lorien, nor from the men of Gondor. But I dread what evils might lie hidden there, undisturbed by the fall of the enemy.
So yeah, we are gonna be investigating that. So Gandalf, Mithrandir, before the Wall of Shadow. If someone can break through it, it's you. Walk with me, Beriathan. Follow me. For over an age, Thuringwath has laid hidden in the Echad Uial. But no longer. Shield your eyes, Beriathan. With a sudden flash of light from Mithrandir's staff, the shadows give way. I have not seen the like of this enchantment before in Middle-earth. Perhaps you might wish that I not say so, but I find myself uneasy, Beriathan. Let us continue, but not in haste. Were the stones of Echad Uial hewn by the servants of the enemy in secret? To conceal such a vast gorge beneath shadow. None but the Witch King or the Dark Lord himself could have wrought such an enchantment. Begone, foul shadows! Begone! Again, the shadows give way to Mithrandir's light. It should not be far now to the end of the pass. Mithrandir appears to be tidying in a way you have never seen. Come, Beriathan. Right behind you. As the pass widens into Thuringwath, great shadow looms over you. Thuringwath is revealed at last. Where Withred now is known only to the enemy and his servants. Mithrandir light pierces the shadows, revealing a blanket of darkness upon Thuringwath. Are you okay? Yeah, it's not every day that we get to see him so tired and uneasy. I think the last time we saw Gandalf like this was when he learned the truth about Lendalen. And that, of course, was not something easy to digest. It cannot be. I thought I had seen the last of the enemy's great works brought to ruin, but I see now I was mistaken. Mithrandir leans on his staff, seemingly barely able to support himself. You try to aid him. No, there is no time for rest, Beriathan. Mithrandir falls silent. Which doesn't happen that often. You okay? Oh, another page in here.
They turned him loose, not to return to Gondor, for he was too ruined even to want that any longer, but to flee into the mountains.
It is worse than I feared, Beriathan. Many are the shadows that loom upon Thuringwath, and I have not the strength to banish them. I must rest for a short while, but you should search for the lost rangers of Ithilien. I fear it may already be too late for them, but if any hope remains, you must seize it. Do not wait for me, Beriathan. Even now, evil does not rest in Thuringwath. Alright. Let me double check something here. Because... When did we get this deed? I didn't realize, but there are only 8 quests that we need to get. Most likely when we completed the first quest at Tolkien, but I missed it. Anyway, we need to complete 4 more quests in Thuringwath, and when we do that, we will be open another portion of the story. So let us get to it. It seems we just need to stick to the main road. For the time being, at least. Oh, take a look at this. Of course, with all this gloom and, well, being nighttime, we cannot fully discern all this, but oh my god. I really should come back here at daytime and see if I can get a better picture of this place. Ah, there's a page. Wait for me.
I have forsaken my name. It matters not. The frail thing I was is best forgotten. A cage of flesh and blood. I have moved beyond it.
Yeah, girl, that is chilling. Indeed. And we are just getting started with this place. So still yourself. We still have a lot of things to do. And there are a lot of enemies in here as well. Another page, okay.
When Eärnur, that vainglorious fool, rode to the Dead City to challenge the captain, I did not yet fathom the weaving of our fates.
Alright, now we're starting to piece together what's going on in here. The last floor, I mean, but... well, we still need to find a lot more pages for this to make any sense. You notice footprints on the old roadway through Thuringwath. And is that it? Nothing else of note in here? There we go. Yeah, just a lot of footprints so far. The footprints lead to the foundations of a great deadly fane. You have discovered many ancient crumbling tombs within Aufaltor. If Thuringwath was once a land inhabited by peoples other than servants of the enemy, perhaps collecting stone ravines from the tombs might shed light on the lost history of Middle-earth. You should collect stone ravines from the tombs of Aufaltor. The Fane of the Eye, okay. Within Aufaltor, many rune-scribed urns of shadow rest among the dead. The urns are not of Gondorian make, and though you cannot read the runes, you shudder as your mind inevitably wanders to imagining whatever profane rituals the previous residents here may have carried out. The vile inscriptions they bear may be of interest to Mithrandir. Many are the dead that roam Aufaltor, the Fane of the Eye. Their ancient tombs lie broken and more undead crawl forth from the cracked earth with each passing moment. Alas, even in defeat, whites are not truly slain. You should burn the remains of slain whites and prevent them from being raised again by the evils dwelling in Thuringwath. Alright, I'll do it. Yeah, girl, if I know. This place is creepy, I know. Well, we have a job to do. And we cannot leave until we see it done. Alright. Let us move on. A chest. Yeah, I really should take the time, anytime now, to level up my crafting a little bit. Right. Oh. Of course, the statue of Sauron. At least I think that's Sauron. That was fast. Within Aufaltor, the Fane of the Eye, lurks a vile master of the dead. Through foul necromancy, a terrible gauntman of the elder deity raises the whites of Aufaltor into servitude. If Needless's company had the misfortune to come to Aufaltor, their fates may well be bound to the will of the Master of the Fane. You should defeat the Master of the Fane. Yeah, that's what I'm trying. No. Let me just finish using all these corpses. Yeah, Garlic. Don't you worry. I'm looking after you. Although the dead seem to rise without end at Aufaltor, you have ensured that the whites you defeated shall never again return. Well, that's good to know. Ancient tomb. It's not this one. Or maybe it was? Grab this rune. Oh no, yeah, there are a lot of ancient tombs in here. I was missing them. There you go. You stow the rune-inscribed urns. Once your exploration of Thuringwath is finished, you plan to deliver them to Mithrandir. There we go. So we're missing 3 more tombs. Should be somewhere around here. There's one in here. Yeah, both tombs are in here. The ones we're missing. You are unable to discern the lineage of those entombed at Aufaltor, but you store the stone rovings away that you might bring them to the archives of Minas Tirith. That's interesting. Would love to know who was in here. Ah, there's a page. The master of the famous body falls broken upon the black stones of Aufaltor. Let us grab the
I
page.
serve the eye, but only of late did I know my place in his designs. A priestess I was then, my knives red from work in his name.
You have defeated the master of the Fane and put an end to the necromantic rites being performed at Aufaltor. Okay, we have completed... Alright, we have completed a lot of things, but we'll check that in just a moment. We'll grab the chest, the rare chest. We also have a new deed, the chests of Thuringwath. We have discovered a number of slain rangers in the depths of Aufaltor. Are we talking about all these bodies? Alright, so you just give me a minute in here because we got a lot of things. So, first of all, we completed quests of Thuringwath. We got a new title, we got some virtue XP, valor leveled up. We also completed quests of Inlat Morgul and Morgul Besieged. Valor leveled up once again, and we unlocked the deeds of Inlat Morgul and Mordor Besieged, plus the rare chests of Thuringwath. So, let me see here. We completed quests of Thuringwath. Yeah, the title and the virtue XP, the reputation we no longer need. Quests of Inlat Morgul and Mordor Besieged as well. Some marks and some virtue XP. So we got the title, Hero of Thuringwath. You have done much to oppose the evils dwelling in Thuringwath. Yeah. And we have 2 new deeds. So the first of all, the rare chests. We only need to find 6 of those. And, what was the other one again? Deeds of Inlat Morgul. So complete quests, Slayer, Explorer, and the Reclamation. So now that we have completed all the quests in the Morgul Vale, we have 10 LOTRO points. We have unlocked this new quest. The Reclamation begins. You have done much to aid those allies of the White Company in Inlat Morgul. Thurindol, a ranger of Ithilien, calls upon you to lead a charge in reclaiming Inlat Morgul from the dark grasp surrounding the once proud city of Minas Ithil. You should speak to Thurindol, Ereblen, and Tordoron at Echad Uial as soon as you are able. Which is still gonna be a while. Ah, a slain ranger, this one. Okay. These rangers have been bled, but a sickening heap of flesh catches your eye. The discarded flesh. Okay. Back to the master then. This flesh has been flensed from a man, but the body is nowhere to be found. Morbid, again. So where do we go now? Return to Mithrandir. That's what we need to do. And return to Mithrandir we will. Right away. Well, we have already completed the White Slayer deeds, so there's no need in trying to fight all these guys. We'll see how many of them we can defeat on our way out, just through our dots and bleeds. But we're not gonna stop to fight them. We're still defeating many of them anyway. Mithrandir stands transfixed before a great watching stone in the form of a Balrog. So give me just a moment. There's another page in here.
The labors that followed were hard, their fruit disappointing. A king's screams, it happens, sound little different from any other man's.
That's twisted. Let me grab the chest first of all. Here we have the watching stone in the form of a Balrog. Well, if you say this is a Balrog, I'm gonna believe you because I don't see it. At least not like... Ah, okay, I see it now. He's sort of crouching, it seems. Ah, tell me, what did you find? You tell me, Thrandir, what you discovered within Aupaltor. You tell him of the slain rangers and the flensed flesh left to molder among its tombs, and that you remain uncertain if Nidlas escaped the fate that befell his men. I do not think he was fortunate, Beriathan. I have seen enough of Thuringwath to know that the living do not long endure it. Curious, I sense a presence within this watching stone, but it refuses my summons. We shall see about that. So, this is really weird. On one hand, the quests of Thuringwath kinda stop here. We have already completed the deed. We could very much go away and continue our thing in Minas Morgul, even though there are still a couple things left here in the valley to do. But also this, Gandalf is entranced, maybe is the right word, with the view of this watching stone of the Balrog, but as far as I know, there's still no follow-up to this. So what's the deal with this watching stone and with all this wariness Gandalf has experienced, these spells that were not seen in the side of Middle-earth? I mean, there are a lot of open threads in this place still, and it's really weird because, well, the Black Book of Mordor doesn't take you here as well. So this to me seems like this area, Thuringwath, was added at the last moment for the expansion. On one hand, to increase the size of it and, well, the scope of it, the duration of the quests. But on the other hand, and most importantly, to tease something that has not yet been fulfilled. But I do hope the devs have not forgotten that last time we saw Gandalf, he was standing here in front of a freaking Balrog, not doing anything, just thinking. And that is mysterious enough, if you ask me. As mysterious as that is, though, we have run out of time for today. So join me next time, and we'll see if we continue exploring Thuringwath, or what are we gonna do exactly. For the time being, this has been all on today's episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. Thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one. Until then, my friends, stay safe, take care, good luck to you all, and I will see you later.